Hello everybody, and welcome to our horizontal push progression video. When we start with a horizontal push, we want to understand that this incorporates mostly upper body muscles, including the chest, shoulders, and triceps. Now, before you just jump into a push-up, we always want to start first with a high plank position. This high plank position is hands underneath your shoulders and then toes all the way out in almost a plank position where we will be holding it for about 15 to 30 seconds. Now, if you are able to perform this easily, then you can progress to the next stage. We want to ensure first, though, that you are able to have that shoulder stability in order to keep an accurate push-up position. Next, what we want to do is an incline push-up. Now, with an incline push-up, this takes a lot of stress off the shoulder joint and mostly focuses on the chest. Now, you can do this on a desk or a countertop or even an elevated surface at the gym, such as a dumbbell rack. This is a great way to start before you go right into a push-up, and also make sure that you have appropriate form, meaning that your elbows are not flared out to the side. You're inhaling before you descend in the push-up and exhaling as you push the object away from you. Next, we'll be doing our regular push-up. Now, with this push-up, as similar to the incline push-up, you want to make sure that your elbows are slightly in and that you are maintaining a neutral spine. So no crooning the head up or down while you're performing. Keep it in line with the rest of your spine. Next, we also want to make sure that our lower body actually follows our torso. So what we want to do is make sure the core is braced, so flexing those abs, keeping that lumbar spine in connection with the rest of our spine so that we don't have any sort of anterior pelvic tilt. So other than that, we want to make sure that next when we are doing a push-up that we are keeping our same elbow position, so meaning elbow slightly in, head neutral, so head in line with the rest of your spine, making sure that our lower body does not also trail below us. So what we need to make sure that we do is keep our core nice and tight, and that will engage our core and hip muscles in order to make sure that we are maintain proper alignment. Next, what we want to do is with our push-up is to make sure that you are at the appropriate stage. So we can break this up into multiple different ways. Now, when you start a push-up, I would recommend for those who are not able to press themselves up to simply work on the lowering motion. So the eccentric motion of lowering yourself down to the ground will allow you to generate the strength necessary to complete a push-up in the future. So usually around 3 to 4 sets, or lowering yourself down for about 3 to 5 seconds is plenty of exercise and strenuous activity that will cause the necessary adaptations for you to perform the push-up. Now, if you can't perform the push-up while on your toes, bring it down to your knees, or even regress back to your incline push-up. This will allow for you to make sure that you are progressing appropriately and not pushing yourself too hard where you could cause injury or muscular imbalance. Next, what we want to work on is our dumbbell bench press. Now, before this, you could also add a load to your push-up if you would like before progressing on, such as a weighted vest or putting a plate on your back. But now, with a dumbbell bench press, we want to grab 2 dumbbells of equal weight, making sure that we keep the weights close to us as we sit back onto the bench. You don't want to be fully extended or have your arms out while you go back on the bench. Next, what you want to make sure is that you have a slight arch in your lower back. This will not cause any lower back pain. Just ensuring that your upper body and your shoulder blades pinch the bench behind you in order to create that arch in your lower back. You should be able to stick a hand through that little bit of an arch in your lower back. Now, once you're in your starting position, elbows slightly closer to the side, maybe a little bit wider, depends on how you feel. The wider you go, the more stress it puts on the elbow and the shoulder joints. So make sure that you still try to keep them slightly in towards the body. Next, what you want to make sure is that you take a deep breath in, inhale, and then exhale as you press up, making sure that you're not resting at the top too long during each repetition. So making sure that you're not locking out your arms, because once you do, that takes all the stress off of your chest and puts it onto your triceps. Now we don't want that. We want to make sure that our chest is the primary focus of this exercise. So a 3/4 motion will be beneficial. Next, we want to make sure that our feet are flat on the ground. So not being on your toes until later on in the future if you get to a more advanced lifting position, but keeping our feet nice and even flat on the ground and making sure that our lower body stays completely still and that our upper body maintains contact with the bench. Also, make sure that you have your head on the bench as well and not crooning your neck forward. Like previous, we want to make sure that we have that nice neutral spine. Next exercise we're going to be going on to is finally we're going to barbell work. We're going to be working with the barbell floor press. This is going to limit the range of motion that we need in order to develop that, understand that neurological adaptations for using a barbell. Now, what grip width should I use? Well, it's going to depend on your origins and insertions for your muscles, so everybody is going to be different. But I do recommend starting out, a good rule of thumb is to take a thumb's distance. So put your thumbs towards the middle groove of the bar, bring your thumb out and grab. This will give you a nice medium grip width that could be adjusted as needed. Next, you want to make sure that your feet are also flat on the ground, knees flexed and up, and then slowly arch your back and try to grab the ground with your shoulder blades, creating that arch in the lower back. Then we bring the bar down, it's going to stop all the way to parallel, completely horizontal, and then press up, exhaling as you press up. Finally, we're at the barbell bench press. So with this, I highly recommend using safety pins or a Smith machine when you're just starting out. You can also use other variations such as the incline bench press or even a decline bench press, whatever is more comfortable for you. So make sure that you're taking it one step at a time, but a regular barbell bench press is the best place to start. So with this barbell bench press, we are going to make sure that we have everything in place from our previous list. So making sure that our feet are flat on the ground, our lower back is arched, our shoulder blades are pinching the bench, and that our elbows are not flared out to the side and our head is on the bench. You're going to do a thumb's distance again, lift the bar off the bench, off the rack, and then slowly lower it down towards your chest. Now you can stop a little bit short if needed, if it puts a lot of stress on your shoulder. If anything, make sure that you are using an appropriate weight so that you can sufficiently learn the technique before increasing in your load and making progress. Now, when you're bringing the bar down to your chest, nice and slow, touch the chest, exhale, press up for the desired amount of sets and repetitions, and then rack the bar. Thank you so much for watching this bench press tutorial video and this horizontal push progression video, and I hope you have a great rest of your week, and thank you so much for watching.